Alright, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the season finale edition of the Rebirth of Dave, Danger and Violence Extreme. And for this very special episode, the annual WrestleRave 15, I have brought in, from the homeless shelter, Dave himself.
Hey, I'm Dave.
That is Dave. That is him. That's him.
Yep.
I have Tyler here for this finale episode because he fucked with me so much writing these fucking promos. This asshole has to cut his own now. So, good luck with that.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, so, this is weird, dude. I don't know how to fucking record videos with other people.
You just do it.
I just do it, I
I
guess.
mean, this is a pretty big moment in the company. You know, we've had a lot of storylines come together. We have the big title match between, Frankie, Perez, and Pablo. That's probably, it's the main event. It's the big deal. Pablo has no one to help him. So, 15 years also of Dave is also pretty impressive. I mean, I think, what's the SWF on? Are they on Supreme Challenge 40? I think
Somewhere around. They're past 30.
Yeah, they're definitely past 30. I think they're about to hit 40. They might have already done it in the save, but I mean, again, for a season finale, this is probably one of the best TEW season finales I think you could have.
I don't say that. What the fuck? Jeez.
Better than mine.
Dude, I don't know, because I was in your pre-show. That made it a lot better.
That was. I'm on the main show. I went up the card.
Oh, fuck. You know what else is weird? I record all my videos without my headphones on, so I could be, loud as shit right now, and I don't even know.
Randy, you bald as shit.
Alright, so on the card tonight, we've got opening the show, the Outcast Open Challenge to, of course, the newly fan favorites, Flex and Pecs. And then I don't remember the order of the card, so hopefully I'm right. After that, we have the pseudo #1 contenders match between Brown Pride, Dead Men Walking, the Bible Bashers, and the Philly Blondes. Then it is a lot of fucking matches. Holy shit! What's next? Is it
Shady K and Ernest?
Shady K and Ernest Youngman, the match where nobody can guess the winner. God forbid you guys get it right. Then it is Dean McWade versus Raphael.
That's a big match. See how Raphael does in the Land of Extreme.
Then it's, I believe, the TV title match between King Boone and Bradford Peverell. The WrestleRave, of course, being the one night a year the TV title is allowed to be recorded, defended not on television. Then
Knuckles versus Akima.
Is it Knuckles? I feel like I skipped the match.
Or maybe it's Tribal Warrior and Doug Peak versus the
Dallas.
Dallas
That's right, yeah, the Lords of the Ring Championships, Tribal Warrior and Doug Peak versus the Dallas Stars. Then it's Knuckles versus Akima Brave in a match that just kind of is happening because, they're at the top of the card.
Yeah. Should be a good match, though, I would say. And then, yeah, I could see the two big guys beating up each other. But after that, to be fair, in the semi-main, I think you have, some could even say, I wouldn't say it's bigger than the title match, because you never want to outstand the title match, but this has quickly, in the span of just, 2 months, become a blood feud between these two guys.
Chris Caulfield versus Mass Cougar.
Yeah, versus Mass Cougar. Of course, people's wives have been insulted, people's livelihoods have been almost taken away. Hearts have been poured out, and at this point, you gotta wonder. I think the only way this ends is probably one of them's gonna die. I'll put money on that. So, and I didn't even book it. Yeah. So it's probably gonna die. I assume 64 is gonna kill off one of these characters.
I mean, I'm killing off everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
And then, of course, in the main event for the Dave World Championship, defending champion Pablo Rodriguez held the belt since either March or April. I know he won the Nemesis Memorial in March. I can't remember if he won it at the April pay-per-view or before, but he's held it for a long time. And now more than ever, it's looking like we're finally going to have somebody topple Pablo, but never say never.
Never say never.
Never.
He's going to have to pull a lot of tricks out in the books to do it, but there's always that chance.
Oh, shit. Okay, it's time. Okay, fuck. It is time to go. Alright, so I get at least a breather before the first match. Oh my fucking god, he's really pulling out the stops tonight. Pablo's pulling out the fucking stops. He doesn't even really say anything in this promo. He just kind of enters the arena by himself because, well, the rest of the Bible Bashers are all getting ready for their own matches tonight. Ace is high and Cali Slick in that tag team turmoil match. Knuckles is facing Akima Brave. For the first time in the Rebirth, or the new version of Dave's history, Pablo is going into a match by himself, trying to keep his belt.
Yeah, you know, just the look on his face as he walks into the arena, you could tell it's. I mean, we had it on the last To Go Home show, but there's no more time. If he doesn't have a plan to retain now, he's got to just rely on his pure wrestling ability, because Frankie Perez is hungry for that belt, and again, like you said, Pablo's screwed. He basically screwed himself. He had all the Bible Bashers almost put into matches by himself. He really didn't think about it until it was too late. So it's going to be a question to see, how that main event unfolds.
He doesn't even have his hitman. His hitman's busy tonight, too. Ernest Youngman's got his own shit to deal with. All right, so we're going to open the show with the Outcast Open Challenge. And as usual, a particularly vocal crowd did not seem too thrilled with either Acid or Java. That's how they got into this fucking situation. These assholes are getting pinned by Flex Garcia and Pecs Jimenez with the motherfucking muscle tussle. Flex Garcia, the workhorse, baby. Fuck yeah. 58.
Just absolutely. How I imagine it is Acid is doing most of the work because Java's just a dick.
And shit.
He's not going to want to tandem. Yeah, he's also shit. He's not wanting to tag in, so the poor, really old Acid is just... Flex and Pecs are just... They know that after this, they probably are not going to get cheered, depending on who they're fighting. So they're taking their time with it. That's why it goes 8 minutes. It probably could have ended in, 2. But they're literally muscle-tossing Acid around like they're just having fun. This probably, you could see a match like this in USPW and you would not be able to blink an eye. But the crowd really does like seeing them get the shit kicked out of them, to be fair, with that 58. It even says it has good heat. I like that.
It's great heat. It has nothing but heat, some would say.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and then following the match, Java storms to ringside and he grabs a microphone and he says, "You know what? Fuck all of you. All of you have been disrespectful to the greatest thing in the history of pro wrestling, me, Java, and Acid. But I'm sick of it. And I'm here to make a statement right now. You guys have ruined my career. You've ruined whatever kind of career Acid had going for him. And you know what? You don't deserve us anymore. We fucking quit."
Acid walks off from Mike Down. It sounds like he's about to cry, probably because he is. This amount of abuse is enough much for a man. Acid, you kind of, like, we the viewers, I don't think the Dave crowd gives too much of a shit. But you kind of got to feel bad for Acid. He just lost his job because his partner decided to quit. But he takes in the stride where he's like, well, I guess that's it. And he slowly makes his way to the back as well. The end of the Outcasts. What a great statement to make.
What a
fuck
statement.
These guys, I hope they're never back.
He really showed them.
Yeah, really showed them.
Really?
Crowd cheers. For the first time, they cheer the Outcasts
They
as they
cheer
retire,
the
by the way.
Outcasts. I didn't even think of that. They fucking... Java's shoot gone from this company, but Acid's got a job as a road agent, so he didn't even get... Because we like Acid, he technically gets to stay around, you're just not on TV.
Yeah, and I think that's for the best. I also imagine they, instead of the na-na-na, hey, goodbye, it's na-na-na-na, fuck off.
Wasn't that the fucking feud name, Fuck Off Java?
I believe it is.
They
just
out of fucking, like, not even in rhythm, just na 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 na.
Nah.
Hey,
fuck Java.
Hey. Fuck Java.
Fuck Java. They could sing in a rhythm, but they just don't want to.
And then following that, we have a very exciting fucking high-speed Stardom-style kind of match where just all four teams are running fucking wild for 10 minutes straight, trying to make a name for themselves. All really lower card here tonight, except I guess Cali Slick, who just got over via Pablo affiliation. But in the end, the Philly Blondes are able to pick up the victory. Ignore the elimination. I keep forgetting that the default 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2 and shits, the multi-mans are elimination. The Philly Blondes are able to pin the Bible Bashers after Nelson Callum and Ash Campbell hit whatever finish that they have on Aces High. And yeah, Philly Blondes get the victory. I specifically over Aces High because he bitched about losing, and that's me getting back at him, fucker.
That's a really big statement when you think about it, because, you know, the Bible Bashers, they tend not to forget things, you know, so in the future that might come back to haunt.
That's what I found.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my fucking god, you stupid bitch.
What the fuck did you say to set her ass off?
I don't know. Hold on. Just for that, you're getting powered off.
Alright, you powered her off.
You want me to redo that?
No, you're good. You're good. That's fucking staying, and that stayed in the fucking video.
Hey, this is Dave. Fuck it.
This is fucking
Anyways, I was going to say is Philly Bonds beat Bible Bashers. Perhaps not the best thing that they could have, maybe easier if they beat Brown Pride so they wouldn't have to have a future fight on their hands, but they're going to have a future fight if they're going to make it here in Dave. And seeing the ratings and the fact that they won, I think they do have a pretty good future.
I didn't even fucking notice that. Oh my, 63. And these assholes wanted to bitch about it. Latino Fear also complained.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Much as I like the homebrews, they fuck off. You're doing the job, brother.
Yeah, but if you remember, Saeed Ali got kicked out and murdered by Pablo after losing a very embarrassing loss. And if the Bible Bashers were gonna lose any night, it would be tonight. Pablo's probably not watching. He probably won't even care. He's got his own problems he's thinking about. So Bible Bashers kind of luckied out. That's not a fucking term, is it?
They lucked out.
Lucked out.
Tonight.
They lucked out. If it was going to be any night you're going to get pinned in a 4-way, tonight is the night. Following that, we have Shady K versus Ernest Youngman in the match where I'm sure everybody is shocked to find out Ernest Youngman won.
Yeah, I think that shocked me. I thought
our Chicago boy got a 69.
Absolutely, because he's based.
He's appealing to the 2-man crowd, really. He really is.
Yeah, he knows who's booking him, brother.
So obviously, with the story with each coming Ernest Youngman match is that the higher he's facing people higher up the card, and each time it's getting harder for him to win. This was, I feel like I say this every time with the Ernest Youngman match, but every time it's true, this was the most 50-50 match. It still wasn't 50-50, but it was the most 50-50 we've seen in terms of an Ernest Youngman match, if that made any fucking sense.
I feel like, to take with the Busted Cap thing, where in the hardcore sections, he's definitely more, like, it's where he controls the match, if you want to call it that, against Ernest. But Busta's experience and kind of relying more on his scrappy nature to not give up kind of did him in, like, really quickly. Shady K is a veteran, so he knows it's like he's focusing on the hardcore stuff. He's not going in for just vengeance punches. He's, like, actually thinking things through, like, okay, I set this up, I do this up. But regardless, the technician of Ernest Youngman is just, it's too much. And, you know, once you get hit with the hit, it's over.
Yeah, and Shady K being a veteran, meaning he's older, maybe he'll try to argue that if he was younger, he would have won, but
that don't mean shit right
I don't
now,
mean
bro.
shit anymore, my guy. And as Ernest Youngman loves to do, he is a hitman after all. He likes to take out his opponents, so the one hit that ended the match is clearly not going to be enough as Ernest Youngman begins to size up for another one when the debuting Angel of Mercy comes out for the save, causing Ernest Youngman to flee Angel of Mercy gets, I don't know, maybe like one punch in. Like he interrupts the hit, gets a punch in, and Ernest Youngman's like, fuck this, I'm not doing this right after a match. Flees the ring, and Shady K lives to see another day.
Angel of Mercy getting probably a good pop just because of how Dave is with the whole ECW kind of analog. These are internet guys, so they know who Angel of Mercy is. And they're probably mouthing off. They're probably salivating at the thought of Angel of Mercy versus Ernest Youngman. This is a guy who, he's young. He's not an old fuck by Dave's
standards.
He's
actually, he's in his prime.
He's also good. Yeah, he's in his prime. So Ernest has a tough challenge. He's also not top dollar, which
I do need to correct you though, because Angel of Mercy is not an internet darling. If you actually look, because of the EILL deals, TV deals they have, he's actually a household name in this universe right now.
Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
EILL.
So this is a huge fucking signing for those of you that, don't get too far in saves like me. He actually, because of the EILL TV deals, a lot of those guys get a huge amount of pop in the US. So this is a big name making his debut tonight.
Yeah, this is a bona fide star. Like if he just debuted regularly and he just said I want the title, he could make a genuine argument for Phil.
It's not quite as big as Troy Tornado, but
it's up there.
It's up there. Then we have the television title match, King Boone versus Bradford Peverell in one of those matches where it's like half comedy, but second half is a completely serious match, even though King Boone in storyline doesn't know how to wrestle anymore and is also completely brain dead. He's not brain dead, he's just amnesia.
He's out of there. He's out of he's a little, he's not playing with the full deck, as they like to say.
But as you know, you can't win a deck of cards without all 52 of them, as they say.
As they say, you can't win a card game when you're getting punched upside your head.
Oh, yeah, those two classic sayings that happen all the time. Bradford Peverell's able to retain in a match that goes about 10 minutes. Dream left hook, defense number 2. King Boone does not flatline like Top Dollar. Oh, wait, that's why he fucking punched Top Dollar, because he's feuding with the Crown. That's why. That makes so much more sense. That's why he did it. We booked the episodes of Dave fucking half a year ago, and I completely forgot why Bradford Peverell fucking punched Top Dollar. I thought he just did it for no fucking reason.
I know that's why he did that, but there's also still no reason to do that, because that's just assaulting a man who's almost brain dead. When you think about it, when you take away the fact that King Boone likes Top Dollar, there's literally no reason for him to assault him. He gets nothing out of that. He wanted to do it because he wanted to punch him in the face.
In my head, it was literally no correlation as to it could have been Frantic Ali in the deathbed, and he would have ran and punched him in the fucking face.
He could have. That's Bradford's basic MO, is to just punch and go home.
All right, 61 for that match.
Good rating.
Following that match, we have Dean McWade versus Raphael. And the real story of this match is that Raphael, despite what everybody's expecting him to be, he's not another Tennessee William. I'm sure when you guys saw Raphael show up in the company, you're like, okay, it's going to be this another anti-hardcore guy, kind of fish out of water here in Dave. But no, the story of this match is that Raphael earns the respect of the Dave fans by absolutely taking his fucking dues, getting the shit kicked out of him, and kicking the shit out of his opponent. However, like I said, paying his dues, gets pinned in 10 minutes, losing to Dean McWade following the Canadian Lariat. But this match, Raphael takes fucking bumps. He probably goes through thumbtacks in this match to earn fucking respect. Dean probably gets lit on fire, but that's some Warrior Engine shit.
Yeah, that's in his MO for him. Yeah. That's just pretty normal. I think the main thing here is the fact that he's willing to do that as well. Because one thing to take the bumps, which, earns respect as it is, but he's willing to go to the lengths to win a hardcore match. He's like, fuck you, I'm going to use kendo sticks. I'm not just going to go to the top rope. which I feel can kind of take Dean McWade back, but also it's definitely not his complete MO style, which I think that's why we saw a Dean McWade win. Not just because not only are you stepping in the ring with a veteran, but a veteran at his own craft. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, so Raphael not going to be like a complete fish out of water, but he still is to an extent. If that,
He's learning.
He's learning to be hardcore. And by taking it, he earns the respect from the Hardcore Dave fans, and by giving it, he's earning respect from the casual fans that are just happen to be tuning into Wrestle World for some reason.
That's good. We're on pay-per-view.
Yeah, 54.
54.
We then holy shit, 71. We then have the tag team title match, Tribal Warrior and Doug P versus the Dallas Stars, and I can't think of the word, but basically story of this match is the story of most Tennessee Williams matches, that he's able to hang on by being an absolute coward this whole time. Like, Tribal Warrior and Doug Peak should have won this match in 10 minutes most, but it's able to go 15 minutes, and right before Tribal Warrior and Doug Peak can put it away, motherfucking Warren Outlaw, the fired referee himself, makes his return to television as, you guessed it, an outlaw, to screw over Tribal Warrior and Doug Peak and help the Dallas Stars retain the title. Now, Tennessee Williams paid Warren Outlaw previously, so that is probably why he's back. But to add insult to injury, I'm sure Warren might have even done this on his own doing, as Phil got Tribal Warrior himself to escort Warren out of the building when he was fired.
It's a good note. I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, I just remembered it on the spot here. So
that's epic.
We then have a brief kind of fucking Tennessee Williams celebrating with his big boys. 73.
Yucking it up like the asshole he is. He's kind of the opposite of Raphael. Whereas his whole MO was, Raphael's like, I want to earn respect. Tennessee literally does not give a shit, and that kind of showed that he won, but that's because he had Warren Outlaw run in and interfere on his behalf.
Oh yeah, Tennessee Williams would consistently be getting his ass kicked if it weren't for all the antics he pulls. Just consistently losing. Next up is Akima Brave versus Knuckles. Do you have any notes for this match before I... Or...
Just two guys beating the crap out of each other. What more can you say?
Dudes being guys.
Yep, just dudes being dudes. Probably some hardcore stuff in there, just because he's Knuckles. But Akima I always take as more of the Samoa Joe. He's basically modeled after him in the renders. So I imagine it's kind of like whenever you see Joe in these kind of matches where he doesn't no-sell, but he also just whenever you hit him with the kendo stick, that just pisses him off.
Yeah.
So
this is like a hardcore Haas fight.
Yeah, hardcore Haas fight, which if you've ever seen some of those, they can be really good.
All right, and in the end, I'm sure everybody knew Akima was going over. Samoan suplex, got a 66, 14:39. Dude, we put Steal the Show on for that tag match, and it actually fucking worked for once. I feel like it always backfires for me.
Yeah, I've had some good success with it, but when you have people like Dylan and Williams and Tribal Warrior, you're gonna get. I mean, this match surprised me as well. I figured it would get in the high 50s, but the high 60s is a very good.
I feel like it would have gotten high 50s if I didn't have a lot of heat for the storyline.
That's true. That is true, and also another loss for the Bible Bashers, not looking good.
Yeah, they're 1-2. I mean, not even. Ernest Youngman's not even technically in the Bible Bashers. He's just Pablo's hitman. I mean, I guess he's part. You could make an argument. They're either 1-2 or 0-2. So, And right before the semi-main Troy Tornado match, we have a buffer angle of Frankie Perez and Pablo Rodriguez crossing paths. You had plan for this one?
Yeah, Pablo, he's sitting on the bench. I like to think that, it's not really part of the gimmick, but that, he is a priest. He has maybe some cross. He's not praying, but he's holding on to it because, God, I think that's probably the only person that can interfere in this match at this point. And Frankie just happens to be walking by, and he's like, he's just he's ready to go, and he's like, well, see you out there, Pablo. Just you and me. That's all he says. He walks out, and probably we see a little angle of Pablo clutching that cross just a little tighter, because we're just driving home the point that, again, unless Pablo has some tricks up his sleeve, which he's known to do, all the way from his time to, EILL south of the border, he's had some plans, but he better have a really good fucking plan for tonight if he wants to be Frankie.
Is he you think he's praying, he's trying to do game plan with God himself? Okay, so you come in once he's about to hit.
He might. I mean, when you get that desperate enough, men start doing some crazy shit. Do I think so? No, but clearly, like I said, that's probably the only person he has right now that could help him, to be fair.
Yeah, it would not surprise me because he might be that desperate. Alright, it is time for the blood feud blow off itself, and you fucked me over with these goddamn promos, so you gotta fucking do this match, asshole.
I would not have it any other way. Before the match, we probably, ECW did this, where they'd have, your kind of music video recaps, which they didn't do it often, but I feel like this feud, and probably the main event would also get it. But this feud in particular, it all started with Troy Tornado coming out and basically just, from being a tweener, a guy that just arrived and wanted the title, to just shitting on Dave, and he felt offended, he felt slighted at the fact that he was called in basically to do Phil's dirty work. And from that moment on, he basically declared war on Dave. And when you declare war on Dave, you don't just deal with the defenders, you deal with Chris Caulfield. And, these two guys really can't coexist in the same, even from the start. Before all this happened, once he debuted, Chris Caulfield was essentially talking shit about Troy Tornado and vice versa. And it's escalated to the point where people's wives have been involved, people have been attacked, people have been knocked out for weeks at a time. Security, they had to have been separated for 2 weeks now so they wouldn't kill each other before this pay-per-view match could occur. And that very heavily plays in on the match. Just to get some extra heat, Troy Tornado could come on the CZCW shirt because he's an asshole. Maybe pose with it by the fans, for a nice, our pay-per-view selection screen audiences. But a lot of the match is kind of how I would imagine, if you've ever seen them, some Raven versus Tommy Dreamer matches, where it's basically, Troy at this point has kind of been fucked up a lot, so he's not the most athletically gifted at this point, if you know what I mean. He can work, and he definitely does. He's definitely outworking Chris. But, there's some gaps in his step, and that's when Chris knows how to pounce. Basically, he saves up all his energy for him to go Dave Hardcore. And by Dave Hardcore, I mean breaking candlesticks over this fucking guy's back like it's going out of style. And they, go back and forth. Basically, that's just the whole thing. Basically, Troy tries to do some actual wrestling or some high-flying. Chris counters by putting him through a fucking table, setting something on fire and hitting him with it. We kind of have, in the promo that Troy talked about, that whole revolution versus counter-revolution kind of thing going on. Not like Tennessee Williams, but, shades of that going on as well. And should I go into the finish as well?
Oh, yeah, it's finish time.
The finish time is, much like Tommy Dreamer, near the end of the match, we see Chris probably land some kind of DDT, and he's definitely got a DDT him in the concrete. On the first episode of this month on the build to WrestleRave, he almost did it. So now, like I said, these guys have the mindset of, I want to fucking kill this guy, because they just can't coexist. So he opens up the thing. Troy Tornado's really helpless at this point. He's just, he's not able to really get his shit together. He lands him over, with the concrete exposed, about to hit it at T, when some guy just runs up and clocks his shit out from behind him. And who do we have as the announce team?
MC Bambino and MC Motormouth.
Lee Bambino screaming, MC Motormouth's crying, because a legend has just showed up. It's Bobby Thomas. What the hell is he doing over here? He basically, roughs up Chris a little bit, throws him in the ring, which allows Troy to hit the Star Maker. Did we establish what the Star Maker is?
No, I don't think I've established like any finishers except Chris Caulfield's.
I imagine just because we're doing the Raven thing to be the even flow DDT, because that's easy to do.
Yeah.
And Bobby Thomas just screwed Chris Caulfield out of his win. He was going to win this match. He was going to prove that Dave was the number one promotion, that it kicks ass and Troy Tornado's a lying motherfucker. But much like lying motherfuckers, Troy Tornado just screwed him once again.
Yeah, Caulfield was going to prove that Dave kicks gum and Troy chews ass.
His ass. I'm really glad. We're on the same wavelength, you can tell.
And the shit-eating grin on Bobby Thomas's face. He makes this fucking face during the fucking pose-off.
If you think that shit-eating grin's bad, Troy Tornado looks like a Cheshire cat. He's fucking grinning ear to ear.
Oh, Troy Tornado's got that fucking... He's got the same grin as the Valiant render from TEW 2016. He's got that fucking grin on him. And
they also... While they do have this grin, they also make their way quickly out of the arena as they can, because any much longer, and the Dave fans will gladly do what Chris Caulfield did and pile drive them into concrete. So they're quick to make a hasty retreat, but I mean, what else can you say? As if this is definitely not over. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
And
it's time for the match you've all been waiting for. The Dave World Championship match. Frankie Perez versus Pablo Rodriguez. And I say this all the time, I'm not very good at matches. And I wasn't just being an asshole going into that last match. We discussed that Tyler has some ideas for these final two matches, so I'm just going to throw it right to him because I'm so bad at doing matches.
I'll take it from here then. But this match, as we've kind of hinted at, is Pablo is alone. Pablo has to rely solely on himself. And this is not to say he's like Tennessee Williams, where you put him in a Dave ring and he's screwed if he's by himself and he can't cheat. But, he's a good wrestler. He's established himself as he's a former Confederation of the Territories champion. He's wrestled south of the border for quite a long time. He's rubbing shoulders with lucha legends like Champagne Lover and Soul Taker, just on the weekly. But when you get a guy like Frankie Perez, the main difference you have age, and then you have just the drive. As soon as this match was announced and Pablo got in his own head that he was screwed, this match basically kind of concluded itself, in theory. Whenever Pablo does some of his more aerial moves, which he doesn't tend to do quite often just because of age, Frankie answers like double. Like, he's hitting moves that I don't even think in his prime Pablo even knew about, let alone could even attempt to do. Even on the ground, your more technical style, he's getting outpaced by this guy who just has way more energy to him. And he has no Ernest. Ernest, like you said, he basically sometimes plays his own game. He basically answers to Pablo because he feels like it, and he gets paid. Knuckles and the Cali Slick Aces High, they're done for the night. They're not coming. And it really did come down to clutching that cross to see, if he really could, pull something out. But at the end of the day, I think we all knew how this had to end. And that ends with...
There's no better way to end the first season of Dave than by giving the World Championship to the man that I've been building since day one. 15 minutes and 3 seconds. Lanky. Frankie locks in the P clutch, taps out Pablo Rodriguez, wins the world title, gets a 73 and a 78 for the rating. Fucking beautiful.
Absolutely. Is that the best match in Dave? We'll have to check that.
Yeah, we're checking. We're going through all the shit after the show.
Also, I think that's very evident he submitted him too. And I imagine it's one of those submissions where it's just the lightest taps you could get because he's just spent. Mm-hmm. It's really symbolic of this guy who like you said, has been built up. You know, he's built up his whole career. You know, Frankie has always been kind of the guy that everyone has big things for, but never has gone to a bigger company. But now he is here in Dave, and he's just won the world title.
Yeah, world title.
One of the best wrestlers.
Biggest company he's ever worked for, and in my head, or one of the major players. But I'm obviously the game doesn't recognize us as that yet. So the way I described how Pablo wrestles now is like Eddie Guerrero after Los Guerreros. Like, he can still do some high-flying stuff, but he mostly has to ground himself due to his, declining physical ability. And the way that the story plays out, I explained this to Tyler before we started recording. The story of the match is really that Pablo gives absolutely everything he can, but he just cannot keep up with the next generation of wrestlers. And the story is that Pablo gives everything he can, and he still comes up short. There's nothing he could have done without any extra help to really beat Frankie. I said after the Shady K match that maybe if he was younger, he would have beaten Ernest, even though he probably wouldn't have. Pablo actually has that argument. If they were both the same age, both in their 30s, we don't know who would win this match. But Frankie...
Exactly, but we live in the here and now, and...
Frankie's the future.
Frankie is the future. He's almost the present. Well, I mean, he's the present now.
Now he's the present. Now he's the present. The gift that keeps on giving. And 92, rated angle to close the show. Frankie Perez gets a huge in-ring celebration. Fucking Dave fans throwing streamers in the fucking ring. Frankie Perez holds up the fucking title. All the major baby faces that weren't murdered earlier tonight are here.
Rivaling the grin of Troy Tornado, Phil absolutely looks pleased. For good reasons, and also because, fuck you, Pablo, you tried to kill my company. Again. So, just a nice kind of an ECW, and they've had moments in this, probably. It's probably like when Tommy Dreamer actually managed to fucking beat Raven, to use a quote from earlier. Now, he didn't even have a title, and they cheered like crazy. So here, they're going nuts because we've finished the season, and just like, in wrestling terms, we've also entered basically a new era for Dave. We've kind of went from the past, and now we're seeing the present kind of thrust into our face, whether you like it or not, for people like Pablo.
Most of the major stories for most of the season in this most of the major stories of this season of Dave have really revolved around the Bible Bashers, and after this loss, Phil and his group of defending Dave, which has not done a very good job for a while there, finally fucking thwarts the enemy.
They've won. They've settled the feud. The Bible Bashers could always make a comeback, but I don't think they'll ever be on the level that they were controlling the company and threatening it. Basically, Frankie Perez has saved Dave, like it's a kids movie. But winning that title and holding it are two different things. But that's for a later time. For now, Frankie gets to celebrate.
Saving Dave, really, I didn't even think of it, because if Pablo won, who's gonna beat him?
Yeah, exactly. King Boone ain't gonna stop him.
King Boone definitely did not fucking stop him when he tried.
Yeah, Dean McWade couldn't stop him.
Nobody
can't stop him. No one really could stop him. It had to be Frankie.
All right, and 80 fucking won. Holy shit, that's a good show right there. Is that the first one to break the 80s?
It might be, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, hold up. We gotta make my fucking speech. Told they're awesome. Given a hug. Obviously Frankie. And then I have to do Pablo because of all the actual stats he pulls out of his ass. Who was the one that got a surprising rating earlier? Was it?
I think it was either the tag match or I think Akima Brave and Knuckles.
Oh, it was Nelson Callum, that's right.
Oh, yeah, Nelson Callum, yeah, Nelson.
Oh, but Flex also, Workhorse Flex. I gotta do Workhorse Flex.
Yeah.
Frankie was happy, was very happy, was happy. Let's fucking go. Get out of here, Robbie Wright.
Yeah, fuck you, Robbie.
Fuck you, Robbie Wright. You're not on my company. This motherfucker. Look at this fucking... That's the fucking... Look at that grin. You gonna talk about grins.
That's how Phil looked for sure.
Hell yeah, show was awesome. You're damn right it was. Alright. Let's fucking... Oh, I don't have to hide it anymore. I have nothing to hide. That's cool. I don't have to... I was trying to be like super fast again. I don't have anything to hide anymore. Not that one. Top 100s. Here we go. By far the best show, but it was also the season finale, so...
It should be. Check matches.
Fucking no way.
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
It's like it was meant to be.
I forgot that match even happened. Look at that. That was a while ago, too. April.
Exactly.
That was probably right when the feud started.
It's also with, at the beginning of the Bible Bashers, he also... I think that's when he first showed up as well.
Pablo?
He debuted, or no, Frankie. Oh, no, no.
I've had them both since the Reborn special.
They've just kind of... It's where Frankie started.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Himself.
I completely forgot Java was in a fucking world title match. That is so funny.
That is
Frankie versus Bradford, bro. When they weren't over, too. Imagine how good this match would be. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a future title match down the line.
Maybe.
All things go. Yeah, you never know.
Well, no way. They're both champions now.
Yeah, they've come a long way since last year. That's just how Dave works.
Let's see how 39. I don't think the prestige has moved at all. Oh no, it has a lot. 40, 53. Fuck yeah, that's a sight right there. That's a fucking sight right there.
It absolutely is a sight.
What were we doing? Top 100s. That's right. How did I? There it is. Attendances, obviously.
Yep.
Buy rates we throw out because they fucked me in the asshole with them, and I'm mad about it.
As they tend to do.
Am I tripping? Oh, that's right, because we're only on WrestleWorld now, so there's no buy rates. TV ratings, don't care. Viewership, don't care. All right. Is there anything else we should look at before we call it a wrap on the season?
I think that's it. Just, not much else to really go for. We got to leave everything else to the
I guess we could
season.
Just real quick look at all the
We got a lot of major stars.
Let's look at all the guys we've built up real quick. Fucking, that's a big boy.
That's a nice sight.
He's getting poached soon. Oh, no. He's gonna get poached. Oh, no. Man. Pecs is a major star? Jesus. Knuckles is a major star? No.
No.
No. Me when Knuckles is a major star.
Again, debuted on TV, to be fair, but Angel Mercy already a star.
I'm looking for one guy. Yeah, there he is. This is who I wanted to see. So far, it's going good. I'm sure a few more months.
Nelson recognizable.
Fine. One match, too.
As I said, yeah.
One match, too. Fucking Bobby Thomas, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta tell the viewers this fucking story. Right after I fucking signed this guy, I signed him at like a normal deal. Right after, literally 2 fucking days passed, he asks for a fucking pay raise. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
He said this contract doesn't work for me, bro.
Damn. What a fucking way to play the gimmick, dude. Like, alright. I think that's it. I think that's all we can look at, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank you all. For those of you that stuck around, fucking, was it 2 years ago when the game dropped? Is it really taken 2 years for me to do this one season?
I don't think it's fully been 2 years, but about... actually, it might be about 2 years.
Almost, because it's fucking May now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I want to thank all of you, the very few that have stuck around and watched from the beginning of the series, or those of you that hopped in midway through, or for some reason those few that are starting at the season finale. I just want to thank you all for watching, and supporting this series, making it one of the most viewed things on my channel, it's really cool that it's a Cornellverse thing. That's like one of my top 3 viewed videos. It's not a fucking real world save, which is great. And I hope you all enjoyed Dave Season 1. I know the season finale here, kind of a little bit predictable. I feel like everybody kind of knew Frankie was going over, but it's the AEW kind of good predictable thing where like we all knew Hangman was winning that world title from Kenny Omega, but we still all loved it. So
absolutely, I had fun writing promos. I hope you all enjoyed those.
I did not have fun reading them.
Yeah, but your opinion on that does not matter.
Fuck you. Well, thank you all for watching this very long episode of the Rebirth of Dave. Usually they're this long because it's 3 episodes in once, but want to pull out all the stops for the season finale. So I hope you all tune in for either the other series I've got on this channel or for Season 2, which may or may not happen, depending on how I feel in a few months from now. And yeah, I hope to see you all there.